Hey everybody, how's it going? It is December 10th, 2022, and I was going to do this video yesterday, but got busy and forgot all about it. And want to do this video because yesterday was the second anniversary of the day I was released from the hospital after spending 24 days there battling COVID. Uh, when I was released, I no longer had COVID, but I had been battling double viral and double bacterial pneumonia and all the things that went along with that. I couldn't stand by myself. I couldn't I couldn't do anything. I had to have help to doing everything for the first couple of weeks I was home. And it doesn't seem like that. Even today, my memory seems like a couple of days after I got home, I was already doing things, but I wasn't. I was in really, really bad shape. I have a playlist called The COVID Battle or something like that. I'll link that in the description below if you want to go back and look at some of the videos I made documenting my time in the hospital and my subsequent recovery. I did a video last year around this time where I talked about some of the long haul effects after that became a thing that the healthcare industry started realizing that people were having long-term effects from this. And at that time, I was still suffering from a few of them. Some of them have gone away. Some of them are lessened. For anyone who thought that this was just some kind of a flu that had anything to do with any other regular seasonal flu, it wasn't like that at all. For some people, they didn't get very sick at all. A couple of my daughters had it and suffered no real ill effects. Jennifer got it. She got pretty sick, but not hospital sick, and it almost killed me. Tended to affect everyone differently. The only lingering effects that I can say I have is that I get winded and physically tired a little easier than I used to. Some of that may just be attributed to the fact that I'm not getting any younger. But I go out and ride the dirt bikes. I don't push it real hard, but I go out and put myself through the paces, and I do okay. But like I said, I do get tired a lot more quickly than I used to. But then I haven't even we went to a motocross track a couple of weeks ago, my grandson and I, and that's the first time I'd ridden on a motocross track since 2008, and I did okay. I was really tired at the end of the day, but I felt good. My memory is the biggest thing, my short-term memory. My long-term memory is fine. My short-term memory, and I'm talking about remembering what happened yesterday or the day before. I've always been one of those people, as most people are, that can't remember why they got up and went into the other room. But it's worse than that. I can no longer watch Jeopardy, which was something I watched every night when it was in season, and I can't do it anymore because I just can't recall those facts that quickly. Eventually, I will remember most of those things, but I don't have that recall like I used to have. And if I don't set an alarm in my phone or whatever, I will not remember it. I have forgotten some, I'm not going to say they were life-changing important, but I forgot some things that were pretty important to me and pretty important to other people because I didn't write it down somewhere. I didn't put an alarm in my phone or write it down right here on my computer and with a sticky note. But I don't really have the bouts of fatigue that I was still suffering even last year. Every once in a while, I'll start to feel like that, but it's like, as I said, I'm not getting any younger. Sometimes I just think I need a nap. Other than that, I really have no long-term effects. The emotional turmoil that put me through, the anxiety, I look back on that and remembering that it was just absolutely, the whole thing was just the absolute worst time of my life. Nothing else even came close. And today, I feel pretty good. I had a good support group around me, my family. I had friends that were really on my side, pulling for me, and would do things, run errands, or at least everyone offered to do anything they could. And here recently, Jennifer and Chrissy and I were talking about the demands I made when I was in the hospital, and I don't remember any of it. But they said I'd call at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'd want something, whatever, and I was accusing the nurses of stealing my Propel. And I guess they got ready to send me home, I had a ton of Propel, but it was over in some place where the nurses had put it, and I thought they were stealing it. I do remember not being able to eat. Oh, and that's another thing that sticks with me is I can still not eat peanut butter or anything to do with peanuts. Paydays were my favorite candy bar. I eat peanut butter literally every day, at least a little bit, and I can't do that anymore. And that's probably not bad. Peanut butter's eating as much as I did's not good for you, and I don't need to eat candy bars. So it has been quite the adventure, and I am so grateful to be alive. I can't, really can't put it into words unless you've been that close to death, which I was. Jennifer, which I read the hospital report shortly after I got home, and I don't remember much of it, but she said it said in there that I coded twice, and I guess that means where you're just about to die. And that when you've come that close, it's like I used to tell my friends, all the vaccines, all this, all that, and when you've been that close, you don't care about any of that shit anymore. Numbers don't mean anything. You're just glad to be alive. And as everyone knows, I was never a fan of forcing people. I'm not a fan of the government forcing people to do anything. But the whole vaccine thing, I wasn't opposed to the vaccines. I was opposed to the mandates. And I'm sure there are plenty of people who have come close to death, even if it wasn't about COVID, who understand what I'm talking about. When you've been that close, you're just glad to be alive and nothing matters except getting on with life, getting better. I recently had a friend whose wife had a serious medical condition. She was hospitalized for some time. And when I was talking to her I was, just urging her not to push things, just to let things get better, because one of the things that I know from being injured in the past and then being sick like that was that when you're like that, you want more than anything in the world, at least it was that way for me, more than anything in the world, I just wanted to be normal again. I wanted to be able to do all the things that I could do, and I didn't want people to see that I couldn't do those things. It took a lot out of me to just admit that I'm just not normal. And for a long time, I was not able to do things without the help of others. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful to be alive. I'm so happy I'm alive. And heard a story of a family whose a son was killed at a worksite accident. And this was just recently. And his father was working there. They were working together, and he saw his son die, and he left a wife and kids. And my friend that was telling me about that, I said, my problems shrink to insignificance when I think of things like that. And so my life today is awesome. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. Never will be, but that's all right. Doesn't need to be. Life is good, and that's good enough for me, and it should be good enough for you. So I don't know. I'm rambling. I'm just glad to be alive. I hope everybody out there is doing well. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving, and I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and God bless everyone. I hope your life is good. See you later.